Chelsea most likely to get a front of shirt sponsor as soon as possible. And I think I can attribute this to the sterling performance, the amazing performance that Chelsea has. We've been putting on since the start of the season, because I'm sure these sponsors have, not really been convinced from our performances last season. So now that we are doing well, it means that probably we are going to be going into Champions League. So they are focused. They are really, really putting their eye on Chelsea. And very soon, probably we'll be having an announcement as to who our front of shirt sponsors are going to be. This and many more news we have for you, injury updates, as well as transfer news right here on the channel, Chelsea Fans Headquarters. My name is Prince Amdans. As usual, I have my man GH Amando.
I'm here.
In the building.
Yeah, man.
As usual.
I'm here, Charlie.
Amando is fully loaded to give you all the latest in the world of Chelsea, the biggest club in the world. If you don't like, go and fight with your phone.
Yeah, man.
Right, GH.
Charlie.
What's up?
Cool. Everything nice.
I know all the time you are smiling because
everything
Chelsea,
nice. No, at the moment I have to smile.
Chelsea is giving you overjoy.
Yeah,
you are overjoyed. So it's okay. We will. It's understandable.
Yeah. So if you are my girlfriend out there, you have to pardon me.
Yeah, because
I'm too
if you don't even take time, Amanda might leave you.
Exactly. Because this moment I'm high.
Right, Ajay. So
yeah.
quickly, let's look at before we come to the sponsors and all of that.
Yeah.
Let's look at injury updates at the moment.
Yeah.
I understand Lavia is having a hamstring injury, and Fofana is still not back. But actually, what is happening? Are we having some concern with regards to our injuries?
A bit concerning because I think we've been very consistent with injuries, and I think this season has been a lot improvement in terms of injury records that we have in the team. But I think right now what I can confirm is that it's only 2 players who are out totally.
Okay.
Which is Badeshile and Wesley Fofana. Per what Enzo Maresca confirmed in his
that
press
is
conference.
the players we already know of.
Exactly.
Not talking about the Rhys James.
There is no Rhys James. Rhys James is actually back in training, partial training.
Partial training, right.
So that's a very big and good news for Chelsea and him himself.
Absolutely.
But when I talk about Badeshile and Fofana, their injury layoff is going to be for some time.
Long time.
That's the long time injury that they've picked up within last 2-3 weeks. So I think that's a big concern.
There's not been improvement with Fofana?
I don't think so. I don't think so. He said it's going to take a lot of time before we see Badeshile and
Fofana back.
He probably said maybe until next year.
Wow.
Next, like January, January, somewhere in January, late January, going to February. So that's a long time. But with Lavia, I think he said that he's going to be assessed for the game against Everton. So he may play, but maybe not at start of the.
So his injury is not
that serious. Exactly. So for Lavia, he's going to be assessed before the game. And Rhys James is back in partial training, not
full
training. And if you see pictures, you see him at least with some of the players running and then doing some little exercises with the players. But I'm not sure he was in an active training with the players. It's just some mobility, some exercises that he has to go through with the squad. So for Rhys James, that's a big news, and we are happy for him. Hopefully he will continue to recover, continue to do well in his recovery and join the team proper. So that's that. And another good news is Joao Felix is fit and ready 100% for this game against Everton. So basically, these are the good news and some a bit of worry for Fofana and Badeshile. Badeshile has a case that I really feel sorry for him. Remember, he was picking up.
Right.
And usually when he's picking up, injury will come setting. So for me, I feel sorry for him.
I didn't particularly take notice of this injury because I think it happened in training.
It happened in training,
And, if you don't follow the training a lot, you
might not know.
Right.
Exactly.
But it's unfortunate for him because, as he said, he was doing well. And he was even introduced into the EPL.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and I think we would have to find a way to get into the January transfer window
For a
to get
centre-back.
quality
I agree.
centre back, because our most reliable centre back was Fofana. Now he might be out for some time. But the Achille, who was also picking up, is also out.
We are just lucky Tosin is also doing well.
Also doing well at this
I'm
centre.
really impressed.
What if something happens to Tosin?
To Tosin
or
Colwell.
What are we going to do? We know we have some other players that might fit in, but we need that solidity at the back. So I think that exactly we have to, just like we've looked into the other areas. For example, we've had players that have been signed for the future. We have to look at the defense as well.
Exactly.
How are we going to work our way around, get somebody or get some players that we can work with consistently till they become very used and experienced to be there when we need them.
Right.
And I think if we get a short-term measure in January window, we should also look at the long-term and see how we can groom some quality young defenders that would be able to take charge in case we need.
That's true. I think Chelsea might do that in the general transfer, but let's also look at where we have players from the academy who are
graduating
gradually, like
Josh, who has been spectacular in the past 2 games.
And I'm really happy about that, especially Achampong.
And let's also mention that the 2 of them have been inducted into
the first team.
They
are no more training with the under 20s.
They have their own locker
exactly. In the room now,
wardrobes now, and it's a good feeling.
Yes.
And I remember what Enzo Maresca was telling them, to not take that opportunity for granted. And it meant a lot, because this is a coach that has come and is building something that is working. If it is some coaches, they would not make any changes. But you can see him still trying to, bring in some of the academic graduates and all of that. So it tells them it is a big opportunity for them to actually make their own statement, whether they will be in Chelsea forever or they will apply their trade elsewhere. But this is the first opportunity for them to make a statement. If they would really be potential superstars, this is where it will start from. So I think it is good news, and we have to congratulate them.
Of course.
For graduating from the academy and now being in the first team.
Yes. Like I was saying, I'm particularly impressed about Josh Achampong.
Right.
Yes. He's somebody I think has a similar profile to Reece James. He can play as a right back. He can play as a right centre back. He can even play as a wing back, right wing back. So for me, he has that profile, and he has the height. He has the ability to make tackles. He can run. He can run forward with the ball. So I think he has a very, very good profile. Let's hope he develops into the player we want him to be. And I'm glad he has signed the contract and he will be with the team permanently.
For permanent.
Yes, so for me, that's a good feeling. And gradually, I'm happy the coach is doing that. I think this is the first time in a while that I've seen a coach clearly, pick boys from the academy, give them a locker in the dressing room. I haven't seen it in a while. So it tells you that this coach has a plan, and the whole team, the whole club now has a very big plan for now and the future.
And that is what makes me see Enzo Maresca as a complete coach.
Right.
As a coach, you probably your main task, or what people are looking forward, is for you to win games. But not other things that you do outside of that. But I think Enzo Maresca has been able to integrate all of that. Things about things outside the field, things about academy players and all of that, managing everything, and the ease at which he's doing it gives me an indication or an idea that this guy is not just a mere coach who has come to also pass through the system. It gives me an indication that he is the system. He wants to be the system, where he knows what is going on. He is in charge of everything that is going on, so he can make good decisions and he can, actually help the club going forward. Because on a normal, a coach will come, the tax that is given him, he does it and he moves on. But Enzo Maresca looks a bit different. Just look at what we are talking about. He's trying to, nurture academy players and bring them on. On the normal, he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared. But I'm sure, and I'm even sure he is part of the reason why Achampong signed that contract.
I agree.
And so it gives you the kind of personality he is. And I can't be, more excited about Enzo Maresca. Yes.
And that will give an impression to the academy boys.
Exactly.
That you also have
a future.
The future.
And
and you have the gateway forward. If you do well, you go there.
And you remember in the beginning when they were having issues with, and this particularly goes to emphasize the point I made earlier on that Enzo Maresca is a complete coach. Yeah. At the beginning, when they had issues with Chaloba and some of the academy players has come on, one of the things we said was that going into the future, we are going to be having issues with our academy players because of the treatment that is being given to these academy players that have played for the first team. But if you look at what Enzo Maresca is doing, he's trying to change that narrative. Even before these guys were inducted into the first team, he used them. He traveled with
several
them.
games.
He made them feel a part of the team.
Right.
And now everybody is a bit at ease because if I'm not important, why am I traveling with the first team? Why am I playing in the first team? So I think he has been able to diffuse that tension or that notion that, if you are a Chelsea academy player, you have no future in the club. And I think we have to applaud Enzo Maresca for that.
Of course. I agree.
Yes.
And let's not forget that in during the summer it was a big issue in the academy, the first team, the academy, and everything. Because players were actually rushing to leave. In the academy. Yes. Liverpool snatched one
from us,
beautiful talent. Yeah, so you see, it is not going to, block anybody's chance. This will tell you that you have your own future in your hands. Do well and you'll be progress. In the first team.
Right. Now let's talk about Chelsea front of shirt sponsor. Yeah. We have been without front of shirt sponsor since the beginning of the season.
Charlie.
And for me, it's been a big issue because it even affected the sales of jerseys and all of that because everybody's waiting for because I won't go and buy and then later we have a front of shirt sponsor. Then when I wear mine, it looks like I'm not part of, but it is quite clear that now a lot of people are coming into the conversation because they've seen what Chelsea, has been able to do in the first few weeks of coming back into the EPL and even in the Conference League. Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are, whether you think that is a reason why we are beginning to be attractive,
of course,
to brands.
Oh, definitely, I think so. It's just like when they say that good things sell itself. Yeah. So if you do well, definitely you attract good business, and I'm particularly happy about that. The issue now is the package, the money involved.
That is going to come.
That's where.
First of all, do you have an idea of the brands that are involved? That brands that are being in talks.
Yeah, I think a couple of brands. There was this Saudi Arabian airline that came over, but the proposal was very very short. And then another Chinese company came. That was also not in the standard of Chelsea. But now the main contenders are Benz, Mercedes-Benz, who I understood they've really been in an advance agreement for a fee before everything will finalize. And I think that one too, the money that I'm hearing, the deal is about that Benz had an offering is 20 million, which Chelsea is looking for at least 40. So I think that's where the difference is at the moment. But
20 million per season?
Yes. Okay. And Chelsea is looking at least 40
million per season.
So I'm still in believe that this deal
might having conversations.
Exactly. Which whether it will happen or not, we still wait to see. But I believe Mercedes-Benz will be a big brand to actually
And I think they've
Chelsea, yeah.
worked with Real Madrid before,
Yeah.
and sure, I know they have that capacity to work with Chelsea as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed. As
And
well.
I think they are looking for 3 years.
years.
Yes, not just not just a season.
Right. What other conversations are there?
I also saw news that
Transfers.
transfer news that Ben Chilwell and then Kenny Chukwuemeka might leave in January. And
do you have any idea whether on permanent or on
yes,
loan?
it's on permanent. It's definitely on permanent. I think Enzo Maresca also talked about it when he was asked in his press conference. He didn't deny it, and he only said that every player would love to play. Every player would love to have the feeling of the fans and everything all the time. But the situation now with Ben Chilwell and Chukwuemeka is that they are not getting it here.
Right.
And remember, he did same in the early days of his time at Chelsea when he allowed Raheem Sterling and other players to leave on loan. He said it. If you don't have time here, if you don't have the opportunities here, and you think you can get the opportunity somewhere, that would be the best decision for you to leave. So he repeated that yesterday in the press conference that if Ben Chilwell and Kenny Chukwuemeka feel that they will have the opportunities elsewhere, then this would be the right time for them to leave, and he wouldn't stop anybody from leaving.
Right.
So let's keep our fingers across. Ben Chilwell, Chukwuemeka might leave in the January. Yes. So
is that going to be a good thing or otherwise for Chelsea? Because for me, Chukwuemeka, I think it has some potential, don't he?
Yeah, he does, but we haven't really seen it for the couple of games that he has played this season. So for me, and injuries also, slowed down his development. So for me, Chilwell, absolutely, this is this will be a best decision for him and Chelsea. Chukwuemeka too, I think this is the right time for him to leave. We've seen players who have been hit by injuries at Chelsea, but they leave and it's been better for them.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, no, it will be a good deal for both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That's what we have for you at the moment. It's exciting to be a Chelsea fan right now because when you turn left, you are smiling. When you turn right, you are smiling.
Exactly.
Back and front, the same thing. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're watching for the first time, and also like the video and share as well. Very soon we'll be back with another video regards to the preview of the Everton game, right? So please make sure you subscribe. Don't go too far, and we'll be bringing you more content. As usual, my name is Prince, I'm done, and I've been here with GH Armando.
Yeah, man.
And peace.
We are.